Every Make.com versus n8n video is asking the wrong question. Which is easier doesn't matter. Which one survives contact with a real client workflow at 10 times the volume? That's the question. If you're a solopreneur about to pick a platform for a client automation, and you're weighing YouTube tutorials against Reddit threads, you're gambling with their monthly bill. I'm going to hand you the exact decision matrix I use before I quote any client volume thresholds, hosting math, and the triggers that only work reliably on one side. I've shipped agents on both platforms in production. Let's start with the lie both camps sell you. The lie is that this is a no-code versus code fight. It isn't. Every serious Make.com build eventually forces you into JSON parsing, regex, iterator logic, and error handlers with retry loops. That is code. It's just code with a worse debugger and no version control. Every serious n8n build eventually forces you into a code node with JavaScript. Also code. So stop asking which platform lets you avoid programming, because neither does past the first week. Ask instead what this workflow looks like at 10 times its current volume, and who owns the infrastructure when the client stops paying you. Those two questions decide everything. Let me give you a concrete case. A small business came to us wanting Gmail triage, inbound customer emails classified, urgent ones pushed to Telegram, the rest summarized into a daily digest. Volume estimate, day 1. About 120 messages a day. That sounds small. Now do the operations math. Each message hits a trigger, a classifier, a router, a formatter, and a destination. That's roughly 30 operations per message in Make.com, once you count the error handlers and the iterator overhead. 120 messages times 30 ops is 3,600 ops a day. Times 30 days is 108,000 ops a month. Make.com's core plan gives you 10,000 ops a month. Make.com's core plan gives you 10,000. You are immediately on the team's plan at $34 minimum, and you will breach that inside a quarter as volume grows. That same workflow, running on self-hosted n8n on a $6 a month VPS, has zero marginal cost per operation. The client owns the box. The client owns the data. You hand them credentials on day 1. So here is Decision Axis 1, volume. Under 1,000 operations per day, Make.com wins on speed to ship. The visual builder is genuinely faster for prototyping. The pre-built app connectors are cleaner, and you can hand a client a working demo in a Friday afternoon. Above 1,000 ops a day, the math flips hard. Self-hosted n8n dominates because your infrastructure cost stays flat, while Make.com's bill scales linearly with every single module execution. I've watched a client's Make.com's bill go from $29 to $290 in 3 months as their business grew. Nothing broke. The workflow just did its job more times. Decision Axis 2, client ownership. This one nobody talks about, and it matters more than the price. When you build a workflow in your Make.com/account, the client is locked into your account. If they fire you, they lose the automation. If they want to audit the logic, they need your login. If Make.com changes pricing, and they have, twice in 18 months, your client absorbs it with no warning. When you deploy n8n on the client's own VPS, they own the machine. The workflows export as JSON files you can commit to their Git repo, and the automation survives your relationship with them. That is a professional deliverable. The Make.com version is a rental you're subletting. Decision Axis 3, and this is where most tutorials lie by omission. Trigger reliability. Some triggers only work well on one platform. Gmail push notifications via Google's pub/ are more stable in n8n because you control the webhook endpoint. Instagram and TikTok connectors are cleaner in Make.com because they maintain those integrations directly. Stripe webhooks work identically on both, so it's a wash. If your workflow depends on a specific SaaS trigger, check both platforms' actual reliability threads on Reddit. Before you promise a client anything, I've had to migrate workflows mid-project because a make.com connector silently deprecated a field. Here is the actual matrix. Under 1,000 ops a day, non-technical client. Short project, make.com. Over 1,000 ops a day. Or the client wants to own the infrastructure, or you're building something that will run for years, n8n on their VPS. Prototype phase where you need to prove the concept in an afternoon. Make.com, then migrate. And the workflow I mentioned earlier, the Gmail triage bot, is a perfect example. We prototyped the triage logic in make.com in about 40 minutes because we needed to show the client it worked. 3 weeks later, once ops hit 100,000 a month and the client wanted the infrastructure on their box, we rebuilt it in n8n. Same logic, different platform. Total migration time, about 6 hours. That 6 hours saved them thousands over the next year. The meta lesson is that platform choice is not identity. This is exactly the decision work we do before quoting any client automation at BizflowAI.io. The ops volume math, the hosting break even, the trigger reliability check. Go see the actual systems we ship for clients on BizflowAI.io. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next automation breakdown finds you. Because the follow-up is the full migration playbook from Make to n8n. And if you've got a workflow you want automated on the right platform the first time, book a free 30-minute discovery call at BizflowAI.io and we'll map it with you.